Okay, new project on my workhorse. My door's been giving me trouble. Just doesn't open very well. So let me give you an example. I started taking it apart, but I thought I better document this before I go too far. I didn't slam it. Let me get all the way slammed here. Close it. All right, there we go. Knock the screw out. Anyway, all right, she's all the way closed. Now notice how much pull I do on this lever, and nothing's happening. I'm not getting out the door. Let me see here. It's only at the very last 1/4 inch does it actually release the door. And you can see the mechanism down in there. Let me get my light on it here. I think you can. Oh, well, maybe you can't. But anyways, let's try this again. Maybe you can see it that way. Pull the very last little bit. Come on, focus. There it was. Just barely does catch it at the very end. So it's like I'm running out of handle stroke. And if I don't take care of this for too long, it's going to get to the point where I just can't get out this door. And if there's an emergency situation, here's a good example. All right, you see how much I'm turning it, moving all this way out. But it's only at the very last click does it move ever so slightly, barely enough to release the door. So I'm going to take this mechanism apart. I'm assuming there's an adjustment rod in there that I can shorten to create a better opening effect. Okay, well, I should follow along here. Taking some screws out, taking those out, pull this cap off. I got 2 more in there to take loose. I took 2 loose here, and I got this off. Come on, baby, get out of there for me. Jeez, it was a real pain to do stuff with one hand, but I got it out. But I see the rod, but I don't have much. I see no adjustment here at this point. So that means I gotta go a little deeper. I got some screws over here. Boy, no, look at this yellow nonsense. Now, I'm not a smoker. Don't think I am. But it sure looks like it, doesn't it? I gotta do something about this yellowing that's happening. Take that screw out. Got 2 more here. I had this apart years ago. In fact, I took it out and put me in a larger cup holder. It's been a long time ago. I can't remember what I did. But let me start taking this apart. Okay, well, I've done some detective work. Let me show you what I've done so far. Of course, screws I've taken out. The top here, one on the side. Bottom one, I just loosened it up. I loosened that bottom one up. Took the other ones out along the side here. Okay, so by doing that, that's got it loose here, so I can peek in here and see what's going on. So my investigation, I found out there is no adjustment. So that's not going to be what I thought it was going to be. But after looking at it, I realized, I think what's happened from the factory. Notice the outline. Okay, see how much we have here? We have just a little bit here, so it's not centered. Let me show you better with this piece of plastic. Okay, plastic is installed. Now notice how we got just a little bit of gap here, but we got a large gap here. So it's as if when they screwed that mechanism to the door, they was off just a little bit. And by doing so, that shortened the stroke of the lever. So let me show you more. So here's the door mechanism, how that works. And it is just screwed to the door frame. Looks like there's maybe about 4 screws here. So, but I'm going to have to dig a little deeper. I'll probably take this entire plastic panel off to get in there and make some adjustments, because my first thought is to take these screws out, move this metal plate over just a little bit, and remount it. Get straightened up here. And so by doing so, when I pull this lever, I'll be farther to the right and I'll get more stroke, and the door will release much sooner than at the very, because I guess over the year all this linkage wears just a little bit. It's just got to the point where, you know, I'm just not going to get out the door one of these days. But there's another issue, because I got the same problem down here, because I've noticed a couple times when I go to get gas with the RV last year, and I go to get in, I couldn't. I'd lift up on this thing, and I couldn't get in. Shay would have to reach across, pull the lever to open the door. I was just thought maybe we was twisted and the door was binding, but that is not the case, because the same way. So when I pull up on this lever, it's only moving that last little bit as it move the release mechanism. So I'm going to have to get it all apart so I can check this part out, see what I can do to adjust that piece also. So I'm going to take these bottom screws out, take that panel completely off, and we'll see what its innards look like. Well, there you go. That's what the back side of your door looks like. And get ready, when you take that last screw out, it just jumps off. Kind of caught me by surprise, but I caught it. And this is stuff I put on here years ago. This is this bubble wrap stuff. I guess I don't know why I did it. Just tried to keep, maybe I was getting moisture in here. Maybe that's probably try to keep everything dry. So anyway, here's my pieces parts. That's what I was looking for. Good. I do see an adjustment down here. So that's going to make that easy for this part. So I can adjust that rod. We got adjustments on both sides. So I can adjust that and get the outside lever to open the door quicker. Just got to see what I can do about this mechanism up here. Get it working a little bit better. So let me take some things apart. Let's do some thinking and see what I can come up with. Okay, I think we're on to something now. We got it all apart, and I'm going to show you a little bit. You can see it a little bit, the whole mechanism a little better now. So I'm going to, that's if the door is closed. Let me do this again. So if the door was closed, that would be pushed all the way in. And you notice, you can see all of it. See how far I can open up this lever? Nothing happens. The door will not release until I get right at the end of the stroke. That's as far as it goes. So I got to make that better. I'm gonna have a fire and can't get out the door or something other. So I'm going to pull these screws out, but there's one behind this metal plate, of course. So it means I got to take this metal plate off first to get access to it, because this metal plate is really only there just so the door handle has something to mount to. So I'll zip those out and get to monkeying with it and see what we can do with it. Okay, that plate came off real easy. Now you can see exactly the whole mechanism really good. What's going on here? Again, see when you close the door, that gets locked. Now try to get out. I run out of stroke just at the very end, then it finally releases. So I'm going to pull these 4 screws out, kick it over just a little bit, put them back in, and see if I can't take care of this issue. Alrighty, here we go. Now you can see it's working much better. So you imagine you close the door, get this latch closed like that. So now when I want to get out, I just move it just a little bit and it releases. Just a little. I like it. And you can see up close, I just moved that plate over about 1/4 inch. You can see the line where it used to be. So I just remove these 4 screws, move them over, use a self-tapping screw to bore my hole, because it's just thin sheet metal, thin aluminum, and put it right back in place. So now we're going to have a good working door right get out. Easy peasy. In case there's a problem I need to get out quick, we can get out quick. And so now I just got to adjust this, because it's not working yet, but I'll make my adjustments, see if I can't get that going, and we'll start putting this all back together, because it's cold out here. It's the end of December and I'm ready to patch this thing up and head to Florida. Okay, now we're starting to make some production, because you can see we got this part's working great. All right, but still the front side's not working for hoot, because I got it here in a closed position, like we got the door closed. You listen for it, it don't release until I get way at the very end. So in order to fix that, we need to shorten this rod. Luckily we can do that because we have adjustments. So I'll give this a few turns and we'll see how it turns out. See if we make this a little bit better. Okay, few turns, see if that makes any difference. Oh, like this. All right. A little bit better. Let me do it a few more turns and we'll get back with you. Alrighty, well, I've got this adjusted, got my jam nuts good and tight. We'll click it like it's locked. And we can see here, we just, ooh, look at there. That's sweet. Just lift a little bit, it unlocks. So I'm gonna like that a whole lot better. Now I'm gonna go ahead and close it, make sure everything's all right. Oh yeah, look at there, easy peasy. Now I've got this door adjusted, so I have to slam it pretty hard to get it to lock the final catch. Because you do that with this bolt right here. You loosen it up, and it's got a slotted area. You move it up, down, back and forth, and to get it just right. In fact, I remember I was running out of stroke some way. That's why I got that flat spot. What did I say? Flat spot. Flat spot. It's been up too long, and I had to notch that so I could get it into a lower position. But another thing I've done, if you can see, is this styrofoam. I've got that in there to help get a better seal. I was always getting like a lot of wind noise going down the road, and I've got that all the way around. You can see it here. It's just some peel and stick foam I've got in there to help try to cut the wind down, make a little bit tighter seal. Okay, next project is the window is dragging on me. Let me show you what it sounds like, how it acts, and I'm gonna see if I can't improve it. Okay, there the window goes down. I'm gonna take it back up. You can see it's just struggling to get up. All right, so I've got me some RV dry. In the past, I've used silicone spray on these things. I'm gonna try this RV dry lube, you know, down in this felt material, just to see how it does. I'm gonna do both sides this way, then I'll try it again. You saw it before, we'll see what it does after. Okay, I'll let you be the judge, see if it sounds better to you. I think it's a little better, but get my hand in this hole and get to the switch. Okay, here we go. It does seem, going down seems much more smoother and faster. Up is a little slower. Of course, I'm imagine that's normal because of the weight of the glass. But it seems nice and steady. Going down. Like that. Yeah, it's doing better than what it was. It was kind of hesitating a little bit more. All right, let me tell you what I did. I took my dry lube spray. I sprayed down this tube also. I tilted it, well, there's a little screw. I took that screw out right there. Tilted it up, sprayed some of that in there because there's a cable of some sort of drive cable that goes into this pipe, comes up around. And then actually on the back, let me tell you something else. There's a metal plate I pulled off so you can see everything. This metal plate comes off. It's just 4 screws in the corner. I took that off so you can see better as to what's going on. So I took my dry lube spray, took my little plastic nozzle, bent it around so I could get to the back. It's slotted back here. So I sprayed into that slot real well, and I think that helped more than anything because I lubricated that cable that's running up and down this pipe and all the way up and through here, through the motor and all. Of course, I sprayed all this felt, this track, all the way around, up and down. I sprayed it really well. So, all in all, I think it's going to work out pretty good. Let's do it one more time. All right, back up. Of course, also, while I had it out here, I also tested my lock mechanism. I put the key in there and made sure it would lock and unlock where I'd made my adjustments. So I made sure nothing affected that, and it didn't. Let me see what else I can do to it. I don't know. And I think I'll get me some lithium spray maybe and spray a little of this mechanism like it was from the factory. Lube that up just a little bit, and then I'll see about putting this all back together. All right, putting my metal back on, slowly gonna put this back together, but I noticed a little something. I was tapping around on things here. I hear that rattle. That'll drive you crazy. Going down the road, you'll be hearing that 10-10 sound. So I thought, how am I gonna get rid of that sound? So I'm gonna try this. I'll give me some butyl tape. Just lift this up, and I'm trying to do this one with one hand. There we go, wedge it in there. All right, there's a piece of butyl tape on one side. Let me get it on the other side. Let me pause this for a second. Okay, now I got another piece in this side here. Now listen, no more rattle. Something that easy can make a big difference in rattling and the noise. I wish I had some, I think it's called Dynamat, that you can put on your floorboards of your car to keep the road noise down. But I don't know for sure. Of course, if I had some, I'd try it, but I don't have any. But there's a very little gap between the glass and the door. It's pretty close. But that might be another experiment later, because that might help. Because look, all you got is just this sheet metal and then the plastic. Now I did add this stuff here, which I really don't know if that makes much difference or not. But and I think I did that mainly just to keep any moisture away from the wiring, because maybe I see some rust here from some point in time in the past. And also, while you're in here monkeying around, you want to make sure your weep holes are open, not full of leaves and stuff, so the water can get out. But I sprayed everything down with some lithium ion. Not lithium ion. I'm thinking of batteries now. Lithium spray lube. And boy, it works so good now. I really like that. See, I just barely trip the lever and it opens. I like it. Not bad for a 7th grader. How about that? Okay, so all right, a few more things, 3 more screws, and I'll put it back together, close it up, and we'll see how it acts. Okay, pardon the noise. I have to turn on my turbo heater. It's getting mighty cold in here. But I noticed some of these screws are starting to crack out on the plastic. So I got me some washers I'm going to put on the back side to help distribute the load and keep these things from cracking out. Get that done. Also, keep in mind when you put the store back together, be mindful of where this wire is. Because if it drapes down and gets behind something, you could pinch it with the screws. So make sure it's tucked up properly as you put the door cover on. So let's get to it. Oh, another thing I mentioned earlier, remember I changed my cup holder, because the cup holder was too small. I couldn't put my big cup I wanted to put in there with a handle. So I took this little, I think it's a little Tupperware microwave oven dish or something other, and I put that in the bottom. So now I got a nice big cup holder. Anyway, something else I did. All right, getting the final touches on it. Oh, you might be wondering, why do I have this little bungee cord on this strap? Because without that bungee cord, that strap would fall down here and get hung up underneath the weather stripping. So I wanted to make sure I had a good tight seal on that weather stripping, keeps the noise and weather out. So that's what the bungee cord does. Keeps it up just enough so it doesn't hang up. But it still does its job to keep the door from going out too far and breaking the mirror off. Let's see if it closes. Ooh, look at there. Nice and solid. Good and tight. And look how it opens now. Remember before I'd have to lift way up, and at the very last it just barely would click. That is sweet. I could do that all day. Alright. So, okay. I've got this part here now. Let's see. Just a little pull, and it opens. All right, so let me finish putting things together on the inside, and we'll see how it works from the inside, opening and closing. Okay, now we're inside. Final test. Look at that. Ain't that nice? One finger just, and look, just barely pull it, and it releases and opens. I don't think it's ever done that since we've had the thing. Let me close it a little harder. There we go. Everything's good and tight and snug. Open we go. And you can see here, see how much I moved it over? About a 1/4 inch. And that took up all that slack in the linkage. Got it working very well now. So that makes me happy. I was talking about earlier how I modified my cup holder here. And I did that because I used a big giant sippy cup here. And holds it's a big handle on it. So that works out great. Then let me see what else we got here. Oh, this doodad. From the factory, all you had was that little black section down there, like a little change holder. This is pretty much useless. I wanted something to hold my potato chips, because I'm driving down the road for 12 hours. I want to be comfy. So I got my barbecue chips sitting there. I got my cup of Dr. Pepper, and I'm cruising down the road for 12 hours. I'm set. So anyways, so if your door gives you trouble, that should give you everything you want to know about these doors and the Winnebago Workhorse chassis. I don't know how these doors are probably using a lot of different RVs. So hopefully you found that helpful. Thanks for watching and have a great night. See you. Bye.